Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Happy Friday. He's back. Yeah, I'm back in the Valley of the Sun. I'm done breaking the internet. Joe Kardashian is now dead until I head back up. I'll be back up in Colorado at the end of June. We got Bradley Dean coming on June the 28th. We'll be having an event then. We're talking with David Knight. We're hoping to have David Knight end of September time frame. Stay tuned for that. But I'll be back up there. It was great seeing. You know, it's amazing. No matter how many times I've been up there, meeting, you know, not just the new customers. I met dozens of new customers, but meeting customers that have been customers of Patriot from the very beginning, from 25 years ago. And it's amazing how many we have. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And this is what separates us from everybody else. Once you find us, you stop going other places because you just get treated so well here, whether it's buying, selling, trading. We just take care of you, and for some reason, people like this show, so we appreciate that. And, of course, when you do business with us, it keeps the show going, keeps the radio station going. You know the drill. But it was just fantastic, and we got a lot of great things happening up there on the Front Range. It was the best since I've owned the radio station up there. Every time I go up there, I meet with our engineer. And we go out to the transmitter site and it's out in the field. Picture, just like you would picture like, you know, a big cornfield or hay field. And there's our transmitter, and we're walking around. It was rainy early on the first few days up in Colorado, so the field was all muddy, and I'm walking around in the mud. But it was the best report we had yet. So things are definitely getting better, and it's starting to show. You're starting to see it with all the new advertisers, the range. We cover so much ground up there, but really excited, super optimistic about what we're creating here, and it doesn't happen without all of you. My Kind CBD. I didn't meet with Jerry this time around because they're kind of towards Colorado Springs, so it's a little bit of a jaunt, but they've been huge in what we've been able to do there. Make sure you're getting your CBD products. Don't go anywhere else, because I'm going to tell you right now, most likely you're not getting what you think you're getting, and I guarantee you the quality of the My Kind CBD is unsurpassed anywhere. And everybody knows you pay for quality unless you do it through us. We've got, when you're talking about quality CBD, nobody does it better and nobody sells it for less. Get out the 1360 KHNC, go to the shopping cart button. You hear me talk about it every day. The reason I talk about it every day, it's that important. So get out there, make it happen, get your orders, and it works. Listen, I'm the poster boy for CBD. And you know me, I would not tell you to do something if I didn't believe in it. And I'm sold. All the people in my office are sold. All the people in the Colorado office. We all know people, mostly for me, it's just myself. But if it can help, and it will help. If you got inflammation, if you're having, maybe you're just, you know, having a hard time quieting your mind. If you're having trouble sleeping, you know what? I know this, the salve. Great, you know, we're getting ready for the mosquito season. Best thing for bug bites you'll ever buy is probably the salve and sunburn. The lotion, and again, I learned this from my customers. Forget about the aloes, forget about all that stuff. The CBD lotion, if you get a sunburn, I will tell you right now, it will be the best product you put on your skin as far as taking the pain away, helping your skin heal. Just another, there you go. You know, every day it's something new. So get out there, try them, 1360 KHNC, hit the shop button. Remember, put KHNC in the promo code box, save $5. Just that simple. And We're approaching the end of the month here. Someone's winning that great consumer basket that we've got up there. So get your orders in. And it's been paying off. I know all of you in Colorado notice it. All of you on the internet, listen, I don't want to brag, but our site, one of the best sites in radio, hands down. We've got the blog up there. Go to the podcast. We do have a CBD podcast now. So go out to the podcast section. I think we've only got one item in there telling you about CBD, but Ryan and Jerry are working on it. I think by this time next week we'll have 3 or 4 different things. So check those things out, 1360khnc.com. When we get back, every day, I'll tell you the latest things that are going to be costing you more. And just like I promised, the central bank, they don't tell us the truth. They manipulate the data. They come out and put the spin on. They gaslight us on TV. They got the cheerleading channel. They announced they're going to be making a major announcement. They're saying this summer, when it comes to creating a central bank digital dollar, we're going to talk all about it. I told you so. Oh, by the way, China cracking down on Bitcoin again today. It's just going to keep happening. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't worry about this next group of items that are going to cost more, because the Fed doesn't count them anyway. Well, they count it, but then they say, it's food. Who needs food? And food is volatile. Because, as all of us know, everything at the supermarket always gets cheaper. Drought now playing a major factor in what we're going to be paying for our produce. Remember, Arizona, we're getting ready. We haven't seen this yet. And we get hit the worst with the Colorado River. Remember, we've been talking about the Hoover Dam, water levels continuing to drop. If it continues, which there's no reason to think it won't be, and let's face it, why is it continuing? I mean, we can say drought, but not really. I mean, look at how many people live in Nevada now, in Las Vegas and Henderson. Look how many people live in Arizona, right? We're in a mad rush to the desert. It's a desert, May not be the desert you think of with sand, but it's a desert. Arizona loses the most amount of water when this is supposed to take effect next month, so get ready for that as well. But this has nothing to do with that. But simply, without water, you can't grow crops. Irrigation water, the difference between success and failure for multitudes of Western farmers. And things are starting to get a little bit, they're getting worse, because as the Colorado River, as we start cutting off water supplies, they're saying that they've broken a record for the amount of drought. And they've got their drought charts, and we've seen them before. But the western part of the United States, let's just put it in perspective of how important the West is to produce. California alone, nobody grows more produce in the United States than the state of California. And most of that is done through irrigation. The California-Oregon border, things went from bad to worse. Farmers in the region already knew they'd be getting a lot less water this year, but now federal officials have decided to completely shut the water off. The U.S. Bureau of Reclamation said it will not release water this season into the main canal that feeds the bulk of the water to that area. The first time this has happened in 114 years. The agency announced last month that it would get drastically less water than usual. Many of them say they will not be able to grow crops at all. The state of California grows more vegetables than anyone else does. And the growing crisis forcing many farmers in this state to simply not plant crops. They say take asparagus. Now here's the thing you don't think about. Okay, so produce is going to cost more. But they're saying that a lot of the farm workers aren't going to be able to work this year because there's not enough crops to pick. They're saying this is the worst that it's been, soil moisture, in 120 years. So remember the Dust Bowl? We read about that in our history books. It's even worse than that right now. And of course, we're better with irrigation and all these other things and getting water to where it needs to be. But now they're getting ready to shut the water off. So get ready. Produce going to make a big move higher this summer. Not to be outdone, plastic is now becoming the next thing to skyrocket. Manufacturers scooping up every pound of plastic they can find. They say prices of recycled plastic have skyrocketed, selling for 89.31 cents a pound, saying that the prices are up. By the way, that was from less than 50 cents a pound. So we get it's just another how many more products have to double in price before they finally start to admit that we may have a problem? But again, they know there's a problem. They know. And they manipulate all the data to make it appear not as bad. Just remember the last inflation report we got, the last CPI report. They said 4.2% headline inflation. I'm not the smartest guy. But all as we've heard for the last 15 years, 2% inflation, 2% inflation, 2% inflation, 2% inflation. And of course, then they manipulate the data, so it's almost impossible to get 2% inflation. And now that we're double what they said, what are they saying? It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll call it transitory. That'll make it better. And so what if your purchasing power continues to decline? Because they're admitting to 4%. What is it really? Existing home sales came out today. Down again. Now, that's not a surprise, right? And again, here in Phoenix, wow, does it feel a lot like the last housing crash, doesn't it? Now, the only difference is we're not building all the, massive suburbs out in the desert. I mean, there's plenty of new home construction, don't get me wrong, but it's a little different this time, right? People aren't lining up in the deserts to buy lots. What they're lining up for is to buy $1 million homes. Matter of fact, existing home sales fell 2.7% in April from March. It's the third straight monthly decline. Let me give you a number annualized. 5.8 million homes. We sold 5.8 million existing homes 20 years ago. Heck, 25 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. This would be on the low end of average before, take out the housing boom, okay, take that period out, and then take out the period right after the housing boom and the crash. So take out the highs, take out those lows. It's a very average number. Here's what isn't average. They're saying that the average price, it's absolutely amazing. $341,600 was the average. This is across the country. That was up just under 20% from a year ago. 20. Remember, what was it? Last month we were talking about 12. 20. 20%. The single biggest component of spending for all Americans, well, the vast majority of them, is their mortgage or their rent. 20% increase in the price, yet the central bank wants to tell us 2.4%. Well, I guess you're right. I can tell you there's no inflation if you did that. Supply remains constrained. Only a 2.5 month supply for existing homes. That's not enough. That's going to, I think prices are going to go even higher. The biggest increase. Well, let me give you this one. Home prices between $100,000 and $250,000 was unchanged from a year earlier, which is because there isn't any. Right? And I said, obviously that's an exaggeration. There's some. Sales of homes priced between $750,000 to $1 million. I mean, again, there's no inflation. So sales between $100,000 to $250,000 homes sales, right? No change. Right? We didn't buy any more or any less of them. $750,000 to $1 million, up 146% from a year earlier. But it gets better. Sales of over $1 million. So this is existing homes selling for more than $1 million, up 212% year over year. This is what they've done. This is the bubble. When we talk about the bubble, what is it? And this is it. Think about this. The reason why there's no change between 100 and 250,000 is because there aren't any homes to buy. They don't exist. All cash deals rose 25%. Wow. Think about that. 1 out of every 4 homes sold now is all cash. Investors, almost 1 out of 5, 17%. So when you look at all cash, right, the investor is probably that guy. They're essentially 20% of all homes sold. First-time home buyers, 30%. That's it. And that's tied for like the lowest of all time. I mean, that's right. And we've been at the bottom. That number has really been this way, somewhere just above 30% for a decade now. And then they talk about mortgage rates and all of those things. But I just wanted to put it in perspective. 750 to $1 million, up 146%. Homes over $1 million, up 200%. And again, the second interest rates start to rise, that's when it happens. That's when it happens. I mean, what would happen if somebody had to pay, 4.5% or 5% on a mortgage? My first mortgage me and my wife had back in 2000 was 7.25%, which was actually cheap. Oh, yeah, don't worry. Everything's fine. Nobody. This is why, and again, why are they ignoring inflation? Because you got to ask that question. Why ignore it? This is why. Because the central bank knows if we raise rates, we're going to crush the economy. Right? Think about the last time we had the opposite problem, didn't we? They were raising rates, trying to tell us it was just a subprime problem. This is a worse mistake. Now they're trying to tell us inflation isn't a problem. Yet every day I come out here and I tell you something else has hit a new all-time high. Now recycled plastic, right? Nobody can get enough of it. We have massive debt levels. They've manipulated the bond market to have rates be artificially low. This crash is even going to be more cruel than the last one. Thanks for Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. For the third time this week, the world's two biggest superpowers, China and the United States, have come after cryptocurrencies. First, it was China when they banned any of their financial institutions from accepting Bitcoin as a payment. That was the first announcement. Now remember, Bitcoin and all the cryptos were under pressure. Simply because, listen, they were overvalued. I mean, just that simple. Oh, an Elon Musk tweet or this or that. But here comes a restriction from China, which I told you, get ready. Be careful. The digital currency is coming. And when it comes, they don't want competition. Because really, at the end of the day, with computers and everything, we should be able to hold our bank account in anything we want. If you want to hold dollars, hold dollars. If you want to hold gold, hold gold. If you want to hold euros or renminbi or pound sterling or whatever, we could do it. They don't allow for that. Right here in the U.S., outside of maybe a couple places in New York, got to pay with everything in dollars. So China bars financial institutions from taking Bitcoin as payment. Then Janet Yellen, again, the most evil banker of all time, according to me. She did the Bitcoin is cash thing. All you bad people out there. And I know who you are. Oh, yeah. All of you out there that have bought any cryptos, you're bad. And did the any transfer of $10,000 or more now needs to be reported. But I thought what happened to being anonymous? Yeah, no, that's gone. That's going to totally be gone. Of course, and that led to another pullback. Then this morning, China's number 2, Vice Premier Liu, said that China's going to now, excuse me, thought I was going to sneeze there for a minute, was going to crack down on Bitcoin mining and trading activities. And they said that China said that they are going to now go after and potentially ban Bitcoin altogether. Now, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet, but Liu was out again today saying that China was going to be going after Bitcoin mining and trading activities. And we didn't get a lot of iteration, but Bitcoin's now back, 37,000. Remember, Bitcoin was like 63,000 like 10 days ago. And there's certain things that people need to understand. the Chinese Banking Association, the China Paying and Clearing Association re-warned the public about investing in cryptocurrencies. Last year, it was established that owning virtual currency was not illegal itself, only that virtual currencies could not be used as legal tender. There you go. There you go. And I think this is what China's trying to do. Hey, you can own it all you want. You can't use it. Right? So what's the point of owning something if you can't use it? So very interesting. Had Bitcoin under pressure. And, of course, our central bank, think about this. A year ago, they even denied they were thinking about it. A digital currency. And, of course, I was telling you, hey, wait a minute. Go back to when Janet Yellen was at the Fed. Boy, her name keeps coming up, doesn't it? She was having private meetings with MIT, with blockchain technology companies, laying the groundwork. And then, just like inflation, say that, oh, there's no inflation. Oh, well, okay, maybe there's a little bit, but don't worry. Okay, maybe it's a little more than a little bit, but it's going to be transitory. Same thing. Yesterday, the Federal Reserve announced it's moving forward in its efforts to develop its own digital currency, announcing Thursday it's releasing its research paper this summer. Well, I guess if you have a research paper, I guess that means you've studied it, right? I guess that kind of means, oh, well, we've been lying to you for about a decade now. The central bank did not set any specific plans on the currency. Oh, I guess it's a currency now, right? We're not setting any specific plans on the currency, right? Get us used to it, right? Start talking about it like it's a currency. Jay Powell cited the progress of payments technology. What did I tell you? Listen, they wanted Bitcoin and the others. You guys work out the bugs. Then we'll step in. They said that the Fed has been carefully monitoring and adapting to the innovations. The effective functioning of our economy requires that people have faith and confidence, not only in the dollar, but also in payment networks, banks, and other payment service providers that allows money to flow on a daily basis. Very interesting comments from Jay Powell. This was yesterday. Letting you know, in the very near future, you're not going to have confidence, right? Because what is he saying? Hey, listen, we got to have this new electronic thing ready to go. Because effective functioning of the economy requires that you have confidence in the dollar. That you have confidence in the bank. It's coming. The crash is coming. The digital dollar is coming. The only question is are you preparing or are you not? Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. This is it. And it's something where, it is what it is. I'm not scared by it. I wish it wasn't going to happen, because understand that a digital currency is just a tracking device. I mean, that's just another level. I mean, Big Brother's here. We know. I mean, we all carry tracking devices around with our cell phones. So what's another one? But Jay Powell wasn't done. After saying, hey, we got to have this, because otherwise people aren't going to have confidence in the dollar. Because the dollar is going away. I mean, we already know confidence is already waning. Look at inflation. Our focus is ensuring a safe and efficient payment system that provides broad benefits to American households. Boy, they never miss a trick, do they? Oh, no, it's for your own good. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Hey, this is what's going to get us out of the next Great Depression. Broad benefits to American households and businesses while embracing innovation. Yes. I didn't say anything about total ultimate control, but, you know. It's going to take some time to do it right. According to David Treat, the leader of Accenture, this is very important, this man now. So let's start learning his name. David Treat. Why is he important? Why is Accenture important? They're the ones that are doing the 5 tests this summer. Here's what he said. This is a direct quote. We're talking about 4 or 5 year journey to availability and usage. Huh. What have I been saying? What have I been saying all 2025, 4 to 5 year journey? Right? Right as Social Security's going to go bust. Right as the economy's in the crapper, here it comes. 4 to 5 year journey. Powell went on to say that technology offers new possibilities to central banks, including the Federal Reserve, while various structures and technologies may be used for the central bank digital currency. Boy, he keeps saying that word now. It will be designed for use by the general public. The Fed has been studying payment systems for several years. Plans to release a product called FedNow in 2023. So remember, China right now, China has its digital currency. It's small yet. Looks like the Fed is saying, hey, guess what? We're going to have a launch of our own in 2023. We are committed at the Federal Reserve to hearing a wide range of voices on important issues. No, they're not. Wide range of voices. All they care about are banks and financial institutions. That's it. This paper represents the beginning of what will be a thoughtful and deliberate process. And that's exactly what it is, deliberate. I couldn't have said it better, my friend. Yesterday, we had that great deal on 20s. That deal is gone. Gold's down like $4. So 1875. Prices aren't. Everybody's going in, especially now that Bitcoin's getting slapped around. And again, and I'm telling you this, honestly, they really don't compete that much. But they want you to believe it. They're trying to give credibility to Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. They're just going to regulate the you-know-what out of it. I mean, if you don't believe it, if you didn't believe me then, you got to believe it now. Look at what Jay Powell says. Listen, it's coming. I've got U.S. $20 gold today, not as good as yesterday, but still a great price of $21.50. I have $10 liberties at 1,075. So if you added two tens together, it'd be 2,150. Which one would I buy? Hey, they're both the same. I'd buy the tens. But really, some people, they want to take up the least amount of space as possible because they're stacking a lot. Maybe you're by the 20s. Either way, 10s or 20s, the exact same price today. 2,150 on a 20. The 10s are at 1,075, so two 10s, same price as a 20 at 800-951-0592. Silver has been really unchanged. Availability is minute. Prices and premiums are high. We're working on possibly Monday on some pre-65 junk. We may be able to have some hotter pricing, maybe. But that's it. That's the only update I have. I've got no new update on the new designs. Right now, the bullion banks have no American gold eagles, no American silver eagles. I mean, just nothing. Don't worry, though, because nobody's buying. You shouldn't call. Don't buy. Don't worry about what Jay Powell said about the digital dollar. It'll just be fine. Don't worry about the haircut you're going to get. Because believe me, if you got too much money in the bank or too much money in your savings and IRAs and 401ks, they're coming for you. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment of the week. 800-951-0592. Final segment here, Patriot Radio News Hour. The Dow is slipping here. The NASDAQ, the S&P are negative. The Dow is up 70 points right now. Gold's off $4. Silver is down about 50 cents. And kind of end of the week stuff. Not a lot of data out. I think the biggest thing is the inflation. It's unrelenting. Now it's plastic. Get ready, fruits and vegetables. The drought in the West. They're just shutting the water off. I mean, that's just what's happening. You know, and what are we going to do? What are you going to do? And now Jay Powell comes out on TV yesterday. I was quoting him verbatim. It's coming. And the reason it's coming is because we need to have confidence. Implying, right, and saying without saying it without saying it, you're going to lose confidence in the dollar, in the banks, in the financials. Right? A big crash is coming. That's what it is. Please be ready. Because let me tell you right now, here's the good part about it. Because there are, listen, great things happen in crashes. If you have money, right? Get heavy in gold and silver now, and after we get to the digital currency, we're going to take some of that off and take advantage. It's going to be great. If you don't have it, it's not going to be so fun. And just remember, there's going to be a haircut. There always is. Remember all the countries that went into the euro where they're all arguing about how much their currency was going to get devalued and all this? Same thing. And a lot of people, we're on this social justice stuff and Black Lives Matter and racial inequality, financial inequality, defund the police and all this stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is how the devaluation is going to play out as well. If you're the right ethnicity, hey, you may not get devalued. If you're poor and totally dependent upon the government, we're not going to devalue you. But hey, If you've done good and you've done it right and you've saved your money, you've got a big 401k or a big IRA, or you got a lot of money in the bank, you're getting a haircut. You're getting a haircut. Make sure protect yourself from some of that haircut and buy some gold, buy some silver. US 20s at $21.50. US $10 Liberties at $1,075 at 800-951-0592. God bless everybody. Have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday.